So the predicted weather is coming in, and we got severe thunderstorm warnings all along this Boeing. Essentially, it's a derecho, and you can hear the thunder now. And there was an embedded tornado warning in it too earlier. It feels really muggy out here too as well. But yeah, need to make some preparations. This is what it's looking like outside our house right now. Going to move the Navion up the driveway a bit, get it out from underneath that tree just in case, and hopefully this tree will hold up. We have moved the cars around, pulling the plants and any potential missile out of the yard, and hopefully this tree will hold up. And if it does fail, it fails in this direction or even this direction, but not towards the motorhome. The kids are bringing in every potential hazard into the house. Hopefully that'll do us.
No. Well, maybe Uncle Steve.
What's coming, Saya?
A storm.
You mean a derecho?
Don't.
Saya, I need help.
Go help Zach.
Saya, I need help.
Meanwhile, we're under a severe thunderstorm warning. A little cell to our north is kind of discreet in front of the line, so we'll keep an eye on it. It's heading to our north. It is looking really stormy.
Let me go down just a little bit closer and see if we can find some.
When it comes to wind, Mike, I'm
Look
seeing
at that.
a nearly 80-mile-per-hour wind being registered on our velocity
not
product
2-inch hail,
just outside of
no.
Lenexa.
So
if
this
you're-
thing is increasing in intensity
It is
as it
increasing in
moves
intensity. If you are in the Shawnee to Lenexa area, I definitely want you to be mindful of this wind. It is very
It goes
powerful.
from about Harrisonville almost all the way up to Excelsior Springs. This is what is going to be in the path of this strengthening thunderstorm. Yes, it's actually strengthening, as Cassidy mentioned, and as I showed with the lightning and she showed with the winds, this thing is gaining intensity as it moves into this moisture-rich, warm atmosphere that has so much buoyancy. So we've got to be careful everywhere now in Kansas City, all the way from, say, Ottawa to Harrisonville, out towards Blue Springs, possibly even over towards Odessa, maybe getting a little bit farther, but in Excelsior Springs, this storm is going to barrel through here. It's going to create possibly 70, maybe even 75-mile-per-hour winds. It just depends on how fast those winds are once they hit the ground and they accelerate a little bit, and that's going to cause damage. That's going to cause power outages also, and it's also going to cause a flood potential that we're already seeing with the storms behind it. Just going back to Perry really quick, the fire chief at Perry reports he did see rotation tail come down west of Perry. Remember Perry, that's an area where we know there's damage and there's power outage. He's unsure if it made it all the way to the ground and became a tornado, but there's an obvious path of damage through Perry that fire responders are working to search for any injuries and additional damages. So it sounds like Perry was hit pretty hard by a potential tornado that we know for sure knocked down trees and power lines, and the firefighters, the fire responders.
Here it comes. Hopefully this won't be as dire as it seems. Get the mamadas underneath the shelf. Oh, that's bubbling pretty angrily. Let's check the latest, and we are right close to some rotation. A little appendage. Keep my eye on it. And to our south is the Bow Echo. Yeah, that area in there looks like it's rotating. The problem with these is that when they become rain wrapped, they you can't see the rotation if there is some. So, checking for rotation, but it's hard to tell. I don't like the way these clouds are moving in the opposite direction of the whole storm. These are moving like east when the whole storm is moving west. Get in the basement. Please don't come down on our house. Looks like there's a rotation couplet just to our east, and we're passing through some pretty heavy winds, and trees are coming down everywhere, or at least branches are coming down everywhere. Power is still on. The thing is still raging outside, but I think it's tapering off a little bit. I hope. Famous last words. Ha ha ha. We've got some small limbs down, but doesn't look like anything major. It is still raging out here, but not as much as it was. Our tree is holding up, and there's a lot of little limbs all over the place. Yeah, it's still raging pretty good.
Approaching the 5 o'clock hour, we're most likely going to see this polygon redrawn to kind of favor Johnson County on the Missouri side. I still think we'll hold on to Lafayette County, but definitely the concerning wind now shifting into Johnson County, Missouri, Mike.
Yeah, look at that thing bowing. Just bowing.
I think we fared okay. Lots of little tiny branches down, but nothing bad as far as I can tell. One of our neighbors didn't do as well. Looks like he got a fairly good sized branch on his car over here. Fairly good sized branch came down. Going through my neighborhood is more of the same. A lot of little twigs down, but the missus says that the neighbor here, yeah, there's a big tree down on the car. Man, I tell you, these people have had some really bad luck. Their house burned down, and now they have a tree on their car. Man, that's a big one too. Big branch. I've gone out to get us some victuals, and I think we got through it okay. Not a whole lot of damage up here, despite the winds and everything. There's a giant branch over there. Wow. Damage those apartments. Oh, and it looks like the power is out here too. Wow. I wonder or if people can handle the power being out. Let's see. Nope. They don't know how to handle the power being out. Alrighty. Our turn. Woohoo! And lastly, we're back in our neighborhood again. I saw this tree. This is a pretty big deal. He's already cutting it up, huh? Didn't damage the house. That's good. But overall, I think we fared fairly well in this little disaster. So, back home.